So it's such a pleasure to introduce my guest today. Noah Fleming is the author of the Amazon #1 best-selling book, Evergreen: Cultivate the Enduring Customer Loyalty That Keeps Your Business Thriving. He's an expert blogger for Fast Company magazine and a regular contributor to the Globe and Mail's Report on Business section. Noah has been routinely quoted and mentioned in publications like Forbes, the New York Times, Reuters, and many more. As a thought leader in strategic marketing and customer loyalty, he helps his clients dramatically increase sales, multiply profits, and maximize customer value. Welcome, Noah, to the ExecuNet stage. It's a pleasure, and they are all yours.
Tony, thank you very much. And hello, everybody. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to be here, and welcome to the webinar on creating and cultivating enduring customer loyalty. And by the way, thanks again to Tony and Kim for putting this together. So quickly, Tony gave me a great introduction there, but who am I? What is this? What do I do? Noah Fleming. I run a small firm out of Ontario, Canada called Fleming Consulting & Co. So I live in the southernmost town in all of Canada. So we share the same equator line as California. I typically work with B2B companies, B2C companies with revenues ranging anywhere from $5 to $150 million a year. And since 2005, I've worked with about 1,000 companies in, I think, probably over 75 different industries. And so when I started doing this, I really was interested in the concept of customer loyalty. And the reason I was interested in that was because I had my own business. And I wanted, it was very simplistic reasoning, but when somebody gave me money, I wanted to keep the money coming. I wanted them to give me money again. And so I understood that I needed to do something a little bit better. I needed to go a little bit above and beyond to create this idea of a loyal customer. And so I was on my honeymoon, and I'll start with a quick story here. You can see this, this picture here. I was on my honeymoon in a place called Cathedral Grove in British Columbia on Vancouver Island. And the trees there, some of them are as wide as these buses, and they're 150 feet tall. It's almost like you're in the scene of a Pixar film. It's a very magical, mystical place. And there's these trees there, and I was asking myself, you know, there's this great metaphor here staring me in the face that some companies are like evergreen trees. They're lush, they're lively, they're green all year round. They continue to grow. They get bigger, they get taller, they get stronger. While others seem to constantly struggle. Others seem to constantly be dropping their existing customers. And so just like a deciduous tree loses its leaves, a company loses its customers. And so the original subtitle for the book was How to Prevent Your Customers from Dropping Like Dead Leaves. Because that's what most businesses do. So I wanted to figure out, why is it that I'm doing really well in this area? Is there anything I'm doing interesting or unique or different? And then I started to look at the work I was doing with my clients, and I wanted to know, what are they doing different? Why are we able to build what we consider really valuable customer relationships, really valuable customer transactions, and really this idea of great customer loyalty? Why are we able to do that? And then I wanted to take that a step further and ask myself, what is it that some of the best companies in the world are doing? So before I got there, I wanted to go back to this idea of some companies that thrive and others that really seem to struggle. And I asked myself, why is this? And I think it's because there's a new customer myth. And the new customer myth is pretty simple. It's the belief that new customers will save our business. Now, I know some of you are thinking when I say this, well, of course we need new customers. And that's absolutely right. Every company needs new customers to grow. But I'm a firm believer that too many companies are solely focused on acquisition. They're solely focused on getting more customers. And so it's wasteful, it's myopic, and I call it an arrogant business strategy. Now I show a cupcake here because there's a great story by a company, a small cupcake shop over in England called Rachel's Cupcakes. Some of you have probably read this story, some of you haven't. But Rachel got a call one day from a company called Groupon. And Groupon said, we can offer you a lot of new customers overnight. And she said, that's interesting. I would like new customers. Now, here's the key point. Rachel's business was already doing well. She had an established customer base. She had established clients. She had people that loved what she did. They ordered from her regularly. They told their friends. They spent a lot of money with her. But she believed that more new customers would help her. And so the promotion worked, and we all know about Groupon. And the promotion worked, but it worked a little too well. The next morning, Rachel woke up with 8,500 orders for cupcakes. So 8,500 times a dozen cupcakes, you can do that math. It's a big, big number of cupcakes. And what happened was Rachel arrived to work that day, and she realized there was a big lineup of people inside, and she started trying to crank out these cupcakes. And so she's making them as fast as she could. And she realized now she doesn't have enough inventory. So she gets more inventory. Then she needs help. So she's hiring students and kids off the street to come and help her make these cupcakes. And in these big lines of these new customers, she sees sprinkled in there her existing customers. And she starts to hear things like, I waited that long for this, right? Or this isn't really a great cupcake. Or an existing customer said, where's my order that I placed 2 weeks ago? And so I realize this is a small scale example. But this is the type of thing that businesses across numerous industries, again, B2B, B2C, are dealing with on a day in, day out basis. They believe that more new customers is the answer. And so we continually try to get more. Rachel said it was the single worst business decision she had ever made.
Are there companies, Noah, that you can talk about that you think do that especially well? And if so, what's their secret?
Well, so again, this is something I think I almost dedicate a whole chapter to this in the book, but a lot of customers leave because A, we've stopped communicating with them, B, they just sort of dropped out of habit of doing business with us, C, they forgot, things got in the way, D, something legitimate has happened, like the customer, the client has died, the buyer has changed. These are all legitimate attrition issues. Again, the big mistake is that too many organizations just sort of leave this as an oh well, right? Like, we want to know why we've lost certain business. We would want to know why a high margin, high profile customer has stopped doing business with us on certain items that they used to buy from us. I would want to know those things. And so what I help many of my clients do is we want to figure out why we've lost a customer and what we can do to win them back. And again, more often than not, they have the keys to bringing back or to saving other lost customers. So we can do simple reactivation campaigns, like looking at our past client base and seeing who hasn't done business with us. But we can also recognize, again, trends or when things are happening. So if you know that the certain client buys from you typically every other month, and suddenly it's been 5 months since they've ordered from you, it's not a great business decision to just sort of wait and see what happens or to leave that as is. These are the things we want to know, and we want to reach out and say, is everything okay? What's going on? Again, I can't stress this enough that these are the types of things that companies of almost any size can be doing, and they're not. And when you start to do these things, you start to see really dramatic results really quickly.